Wolf, leave him alone. Wolf, come here. That's enough. Wolf. Come here. What's going on, guys? Wolf likes to get the bison excited a little bit. It's funny because there's no match for him, or he is no match for them, I should say. But he still likes having fun with them. How you doing, Sharon? How are you? From Wisconsin. Awesome. Nice to have you guys. See if I can get a little bit better view of the bison there. Hopefully everybody's having a good Thanksgiving Eve. Sad but recovering, sorry. Hopefully you're recovering from something not too serious. Jerry, how you doing? Darlene, how are you? Oklahoma from Jerry, awesome. Very cool. Hopefully everybody is winding down for a good happy Thanksgiving. Yes, yeah, we are getting ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow and looking forward to it. I wish you could see this right now. Walking, White Feather came up to Wolf and she's sniffing him. He's kind of getting intimidated a little bit. Awesome, from Ontario, Canada. Happy Thanksgiving, Jerry. Oklahoma. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, we did hear about Dusty and his new addition, which is very, very cool. These guys are a little excited right now. Because Wolf is right here. It's kind of an interesting dynamic because Wolf likes to stick to my side and protect me, and he thinks he's protecting me from the bison, but then he's getting the bison excited, and they are kind of getting a little hairy around me. So come on, come on. You can't really see Wolf. He's in the bottom of the picture. The bison don't like him around here. Come on, come on. Come on. He is a good dog, though. Do we think we'll have any calves this next year? No. These are all yearlings, and they are, hopefully they will breed. Let me see if I can turn the camera a little bit for you guys. Bear with me one second. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Yeah, these are all calves or yearlings, and hopefully they'll breed next year. So hopefully that's a little bit better view of the bison. Give me a thumbs up if it is. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hopefully everybody is getting ready to have a good, relaxing time off. Sorry if anybody is having to work in the stores. I know some of those stores are still staying open, so. Oh, awesome. From France, that's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, you're very, very welcome. Thanks for joining us, Stephen. Paul, how you doing? Good to see some of you guys who have been with our channel from the very beginning. Really appreciate everybody's support. So we just got to a year on the channel. I interviewed Dusty with Cross Timbers Bison last October, and it was actually last October 31st, if I remember right, Halloween. And got back in the next week or two. We did some editing and uploaded our first video. And so if you can see, you can see her chasing Wolf off, which he deserves it. Wolf, leave her. Leave her alone. Like I said, they're getting a little excited because of Wolf. Let me see if I can get him back a little bit. Wolf. No. Come on. No. Come on. Go. Go. He is still a pup, and he is learning. Come on, Wolf. Out, out, go on. Come on, sit down. Yeah, so they're kind of pick up where I left off. They are all yearlings, so they should breed next year and have calves in the following year, hopefully. So. How old is Wolf? He is just a year old. We've only had him for about 10 months now. So he is still a pup. He is a pure blood black German Shepherd. We had a couple German Shepherds when I was a kid, and they were always really fun, and found out about this black breed, and I really wanted to get one. He's a good guard dog, but he's learning, if you can't see, not to mess with the bison. He will go up to the bison, and he will run up to them and bark at them at their head, and most of the time they won't even flinch because they know he's no match for them. Pretty playful though. Got her in the head. You can see underneath the camera, this is a white feather. She's getting friendly too. They're all getting pretty big. They getting close to full size. The females all are. Walking Coyote, he has a ways to go. They don't mature until they're about 7 to 10 years old, so he is literally just a baby in his his first year. I was talking to another bison producer this last week, and he has been in the Wolf, leave it. He wants to pick a fight, but he won't win that fight. Yeah, so he was telling me that bison are kind of typically about half the lifespan of humans. They will live to somewhere around 40 years old, and humans will live around 80, obviously. And so their maturity rate is about half too. So, you know, a human's maturity rate is about, 20 years old, and bison's maturity rate is somewhere around 10 years old. Which is, I thought, was kind of a cool fact. Wolf keeps picking a fight with Red Prairie over there. She's not having it. Bear with me one second here, see if I can get the chat going a little bit. Having a hard time reading it because it keeps disappearing. Maybe that'll be better. How much snow do we normally get? Not very much. I think our average snowfall rate around here is about 14 inches. Oh, that's cool. You have wild bison flora. Very cool. Yeah, 40 years is a long lifespan. There's like a little side fight over here going on. See if I can get the camera turned over there and see Red Prairie going after Wolf. How long can bison go without water? That is a good question. I don't know that off the top of my head. They're not like camels or anything like that, but I would guess, a couple days. I wouldn't think too much longer than that. They are pretty hardy though. You always want to be careful with them when they're this close. Definitely, this is not something you do with wild bison. Definitely, you don't do this with any bison you don't know. Thank you. Appreciate it. We enjoy putting out these videos and talking about this wonderful creature. So, what's y'all's favorite? What's y'all's favorite thing on the bison? Tell me what you love to hear. Will I be buying more bison? Absolutely, yes. Just a matter of timing. We're working on. Little River was chasing after Wolf that time. Chased him all the way around the hay bale ring. Even though she's the littlest one, she still knows how to be a little feisty. Come here, boy. Wolf, come here. Come here. Come here. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. But yeah, tell me your favorite thing about bison. Love to hear. Or ask me any questions. Love to be able to answer you guys' questions. Who's the boss in the ranch? walking coyote there, but typically the boss animal is actually basically the maturest female, and that would be Red Prairie. She's kind of the boss of the whole herd, but the I guess biggest, maturest male typically tries to be the boss, and he will boss everybody around, but then when it comes to like leading from pasture to pasture, it will be the most mature female typically, or the one that emerges as the boss. She almost got him that time. I think it's just kind of one of those things he's got to learn. Wolf, stop it. Get out of here. Come on. Go on. He tries to pick a fight and then come back here and have me intervene. I don't want to intervene between him and the bison. Definitely not. That's what I'm talking about. He's making trouble. I'm gonna get him out of here. Getting me a little nervous. Come on, guys. Yeah, that was Wolf whining. He didn't like me putting him in his kennel. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Ran over there with him in the kennel. He was just getting a little too rowdy with these guys. That last incident was a little too close. What he was doing is he was getting them worked up, and then he was coming back to me as like the safe space, and then the bison would end up trying to get him, and then I'm in the middle of it. We don't want that. How many Native American tribes have bison? That is a good question. I don't know. There's a lot, though. I would say there's a lot. Probably some of the closest around by us would be down in Oklahoma, the northern, I guess northeastern tip of Oklahoma. They have quite a bit of bison up there. The Potawatomi Nation has some, Osage around that area. They're definitely calming down now that wolf isn't around. They can get really excited when you get in those moods like that of like protection mode, and when you get dogs in there, a lot of times they'll get in that mood, and it's not something you want to be in the middle of. What is the highest age bison can live? The oldest that I personally know of was 39 years old. In captivity, they're upper 30s, 40. And in the wild, they're probably 15 to 20. Am I still giving them diatomaceous earth? Yes, from time to time. We've pulled back. There isn't as much of a worm load in the fall and winter. Your worms are typically in the summer, and that's what you're concerned about. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, so the summer is really what you're concerned about. So the northern climates, where they have the ground temperature is colder, they will have less worm problems. So same thing with the southern climates, they will have more worm problems. So there's just a longer growth period that the worms can establish and do them harm. Yeah, what Wolf was doing was scary if I had calves in there with him. Absolutely. That's why you got to know your herd. We wouldn't be out here with them, with that dog, if they had calves. I wouldn't be out here with them if they had calves, period. You always got to know your animals, definitely. You can hear Wolf over there whining. Have they ever broken a fence? No, they really haven't. They're pretty good to fences. They really stay off of them. Pardon me while I fix my camera. Appreciate that, Nancy. Everybody hit the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Turkey or bison for Thanksgiving? It's actually going to be turkey. Going over to the in-laws, and we will be having turkey. Did have some really good bison ribeyes just a couple weeks ago, though. What are you surprised about? You can see that hay bale ring over there. That hay, they really haven't eaten on it very much. Gave that to them a couple weeks ago, and they're still eating the grass pretty heavy. Are the females less bully and destructive than the males? Typically, yeah. The males get really kind of ornery when they get up to a certain age. So yeah, bison ribeyes, yeah, they were very, very good. Thank you, Karen, appreciate it. My chat keeps going away, so I keep having to refresh it, so bear with me, I'm sorry. Are there many books regarding bison? Yeah, there are. There's like Bison 201 and some ones that the NBA puts out. Yeah, they're, oh, okay, you're surprised that they don't break through the fences. They're real smart. They just know not to really mess with the fences. They are really easy to handle. Yeah, I like their fall color too. They're really, really pretty. Very cool. From Nebraska, awesome. Yeah, if you can notice now that Wolf's out of here, they've completely calmed down and they are very docile. That's the way I like them when I am in here with them. Definitely not wanting to be in there with them when they're excited. I appreciate that. We have great content. Appreciate it. Thank you. Do we work bison like Dusty? Yeah, not as often as Dusty does. It's kind of a preference thing. We don't really see the need to, but every single producer is definitely operates differently. Yes, electric fence does stop them. That's what we have around here, and they just don't push on the fences at all. From South Carolina, awesome, very cool. How much does our biggest bison weigh? He is right here. He is a yearling, and I haven't got him on the scales recently, but I would say he's somewhere around 800 pounds, I would just guess, somewhere in there. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Hopefully the live stream is a little bit better. We're doing it a little bit different than I normally do. So hopefully the live stream doesn't cut out. Let me know if it is. Yeah, look at his black stripe down his back. They all have their own set of coloring, and that's what I really love about them. Right behind him, right there, is Black Feather. She's really dark and kind of got some red tones to her. Electric fence and prods mostly, electric fence and prods mostly make them angry. Even my pet one, changing the train of thought, is much better. Yeah, the prods you really don't use prods with them very often at all. The electric fence thing can get them angry if they got into it, but they learn really quickly and they really just don't mess with the fence. Would there be trouble with a 2-year-old bull, calves in the herd with the bull? No, not typically. He'll you know, a 2-year-old bull will kind of run them off, but they don't, you know, this is kind of how they're made. They're fine. How many bison do you hope to have by the end of 2022? Good question. I would probably say our goal by the end of 2022 is somewhere around maybe 15 to 20. Actually, by the end of 2022, hopefully more than that, probably by mid 2022. Like the dark colors, very cool. Me too. It's good, not cutting out, awesome. Do the adult males ever try to threaten the calves? Just if they're kind of in their space, but other than that, no. They're not like pigs where they'll try to attack and kill them. They're different in that way. Love watching your interaction with your herd. You got an eye with contact and area of space. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. How many acres per bison do you need to sustain them at your ranch? So our area, see if I can kind of change this angle here a little bit. So our area is about 5 acres to a 5 acres to a single animal. But if you can get into like mob grazing or intensive grazing, you can drastically reduce that down to maybe 2 or even 1 acre per animal. So we'll be working on a lot of that here in the coming months. How many can your farm sustain? So that kind of goes into that question. Probably, if we just were to run them out on the ground and open up all the gates, probably somewhere around 10 to 15. But if we work on intensive grazing heavily, I'm hoping to get in the nature of 30 to 40 animals. Cross our fingers. How many acres do we have? We have 60 acres here. Do you seed yourself? Do you seed yourself acres to keep the grass growing? No. This is all prairie ground here, and it stays. Basically, it comes back every year. So. What do I mean by intensive grazing? It basically means getting as many animals on one piece of ground as you can, and then moving them as often as you can. So, for instance, like cutting a 60-acre piece down to 1 acre paddocks, putting them in there for a day, and then moving to the next acre, giving rest, and it allows the ground to do a whole lot better. And so basically, if you have 40 paddocks, then if you move them every day, they wouldn't go back to that paddock for another 40 days, which gives it a 40-day rest period, and it allows the grass to come back a lot heavier. Spreads out the manure. There's a lot of different benefits to it. So. I was watching TV until he stopped and watching us. Awesome, thank you. Do they follow us around the farm or the direction we go? Yeah, typically because they think we have feed or something like that. So. What's the next project? Working on water systems. That is the main focus right now. So trying to get water set up for them for the winter and also for next summer. So yeah, it's all water systems right now. The last couple weeks and in the next couple weeks we're heavy on those. So we'll be having some videos coming out on that, and hopefully everything works out good on it. Do they get cakes or cubes often? No. The last time I gave them cubes like this was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe. Yeah, no, this is just a treat for them. Allows them to be workable for me, so I can call them into the corral or something if I need to, or call them from pasture to pasture. How do I call them to me? I whistle. So, excuse me. There was a whistle on Iron Will. It's a movie from the 90s that I really liked, and so I just adopted that whistle. So basically, the way I try to train our bison, and we did this with the last herd, is just when we first get them, we will feed them, and then I will whistle to them while I'm feeding them, and every time I feed them, I whistle, and then eventually they will get the picture that that whistle is associated to feed, and so then they'll just come whenever I whistle. So they can be way out in the field, and I can just sit there and whistle to them and go, see them perk up, and then they'll all come running. So very, very easy way to handle them. I did a whistle because I wanted something that, you know, if they ever got out or something like that, you know, I'm not looking for a horn, or some people do, you know, horns or different things like that, but I want something that's on me at all times, and that's a whistle. Are they always calm? No. They most of the time, I would say 95% of the time, they're like this, pretty calm. But yeah, they can get a little rowdy, kind of how you saw in the beginning of the live feed with Wolf. They get a little excited. Appreciate that. Thank you. We appreciate your prayers. Thank you. I appreciate that. You like our whistle. Something I just came up with before we ever dreamed of having a YouTube channel. This is our second go at having bison. Our first ranch was in Missouri, and depending upon the time of year, we had 15 or 20 animals, and this is our restart. So do bison need a structure for winter? No, they don't. They love being out in the middle of the field. Sometimes they'll go underneath trees or something like that in the shade, but most of the time, if it's 100 degrees out, they will be in the middle of the field. And in the winter, same thing. It can be cold, rainy, and they really don't care. That coat is so thick, that is basically their structure. Oreos, banana bread, bananas, carrots, cake, all work great. Nice. I've never tried Oreos or anything like that. Are they related to buffaloes? I'm assuming you're referring to the buffalo in Africa, and they are related to them in the sense that they are all bovines, but they are not of the same, if I'm saying this right, genus species. So their genus species is bison, and their subspecies is bison. So their technical way of calling them is bison, but the Indians, the Native Americans, called them buffalo from us calling them buffalo, and then scientists came over and said they're not buffalo, they're bison, but the buffalo term stuck, and honestly, I prefer the term buffalo. So you'll hear me saying buffalo or bison. Did my land get sufficient rainfall this year? Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, it did. We had a pretty good cool summer, and it did pretty good. The fall has been not quite as much rainfall as we typically get, so that's a little different. Do we have the option to add more land? Will we be buying more? Possibly. It really just kind of depends upon funds available. So yeah, we'd love to own more land, but this is, I mean, when we purchased this land, we're really focused on developing this. So this is #1 priority right now. Okay, yeah, you were talking about the ones in Africa. Do we need any special permits or anything to raise them or keep them? No, you do not. I thought you did when I first got started in this, and Thankfully, you do not. They are just like raising cows, and I would be not too keen on it if there was permits. You understand that their coat is so thick in the winter snow that doesn't melt on them. Yes, that is true. In the winter, you will see them covered in snow a lot of times because their coat is so thick and their body temperature just doesn't get through that. I was yelling at in Theodore National Park for calling them buffalo. Nice. Appreciate that, Julie. Appreciate that. We enjoy sharing. Happy Thanksgiving. Is it hard to find a vet for them? Yes, absolutely. There's some vets that specialize in them, but they travel. And they're not a whole lot different than cows, but a lot of vets just don't know that, and they just don't really want to mess with them. So you kind of have to convince a vet to work on them, and or you just need to find one that is familiar with them. So hi, Debbie from Kansas City. Awesome. That's where I grew up. My hometown. How intelligent are bison compared to cattle? I would say all animals of this sort are very intelligent. I have raised bison a lot more than I have cattle. I've had a little bit of cattle. I would say that they're smarter. I might be biased though. They are extremely smart. I would say that I would compare them to something like a parakeet or something like that. No, they're not going to talk, but they can actually figure out latches. They can figure out electric fencing. They're very, very smart. I appreciate that. Yes, we do love the animal. Yes, there are some great buffalo associations you can become a part of, absolutely. Missouri Bison Association, Kansas Bison Association, National Bison Association. Almost every state has a involvement in them. I was actually served on the board of directors of the Missouri Bison Association. I was very involved and hoped to be involved on the Kansas side shortly. The bison are posing. Yeah, they kind of are. Awesome. From Buffalo, New York. How fitting. Very cool. I found a new project for bison watching your channel. They are pretty cool. Very cool. When we'll be seeing red dogs or calves, it won't be for another basically year and a half. So does the vet have to tranquilize them? No, not often. If they're out in the middle of the field and you can't get them to a squeeze shoot, then sure. But no, you just run them through a squeeze shoot, run them through a corral, and just like working beef calves or cows. You agree they learn to open gates, ropes, etc. Yep, absolutely. A friend of mine said that he watched his bison untie a double knot. They are very, very smart. Do I think cows are tamer, safer? Yeah, I mean they are tamer. I wouldn't necessarily. It's kind of a hard question to answer, honestly. I know bison. I don't feel like these animals are dangerous. They are definitely different, you definitely don't want to get in the middle of a corral and work with them like you would cows. So in that aspect, yes, they're more dangerous, but I really don't see to where they would be, cows would be less dangerous than bison. A lot of times when you trust an animal that's so big like this, that's actually where a lot of the danger comes involved. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully we can do this live a little bit better if I can figure out the service. We have such bad service out here. And I was linking over to another camera and we were having some trouble. So hopefully maybe this works out a little bit better, and we'll do this a little bit more often if you guys enjoy it. Give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying it and you want to see it more often. Yeah, wild animals appear more intelligent than domestic ones. Question of survival. Yeah, they do tend to feel that way. See a coyote over here. You'd be so nervous to get that close to bison. You do not want to do this to wild animals, and I don't want to do this to any animals I don't know. These guys I am around every single day, and even that, you want to be very careful with them. The way I like to tell people is they're kind of like a lion or a tiger. You can tame them down to a point, but at any point they can snap and they can want to basically protect themselves. So you always want to think through that and look for signs that they want to protect themselves. But yes, definitely don't ever do this with anybody else's bison, and you want to understand yours very, very well. How to start bison farming with no farm animal experience except for chickens. Well, believe it or not, I started bison ranching when I had zero farm animal experience, not even chickens. My suggestion would be to get in contact with the National Bison Association, the NBA, and they have online courses. That's actually how I got started, and I learned so much about this animal. So that would be absolutely my recommendation to anybody who would like to get started. So, glad you're enjoying the live feed. Very good. Sorry if I keep coming back to the camera so much. My chat is disappearing off, and so we're having to refresh it. How did I get interested in bison? I've always been interested in them. They're always just a really cool animal to me, and didn't know that you could raise them, and I just thought, heck, why not? Hear that? It's dusk. All the coyotes are coming out. It's a beautiful sound in the country. Reminds me of going to my grandparents' house on the farm. Love that sound. Do I still communicate with Dusty? Absolutely, yeah. Talked to him a couple weeks ago. Aren't they more expensive than cattle? Yes, they are. They're 2 to 3 times the price, depending upon the market. Are there other wild animals in the area that are a pest to bison? No. Coyotes would be the only thing really, and they are no match for these animals. How involved is my wife and children with the bison? Pretty involved. They definitely have different roles than I do. I wouldn't put my kids in the field like this, obviously, but yeah, they are very involved. My kids love being on the farm. The fact that they are big can be dangerous by their strength and power without meaning to hurt you. Yep, that is a good way to sum it up. Noah, how is the merchandise going? Any new merchandise? It's slowed down a bit. We're actually kind of regroup with it, and might try some different things on there. So, have I always lived in Kansas? Nope. Born and raised in Missouri, and now we live in Kansas. Lynn, are you, maybe I missed it before, but do you raise bison? You said, I never had snake, wild pig, or other animals come into the bison area until a year after mine were gone. Oh, okay. So you must have raised bison before. You sound familiar in the comments. I think maybe I've spoken with you about it. I have a more watchful eye now. Yeah. Ever had a dangerous experience with buffalo? Yes, yes, we did. There was a time where we were trying to corral some of the animals up, and it got a little hairy, and it wasn't their fault, it was my fault that I didn't have a very good corral. Very cool. You have coyotes in Europe. Yeah, they're all over. Yeah, we have merchandise on our website, brokenarrowbison.net. But like I said, we're going to try to kind of regroup with some of it, but it is available there. What is the funniest thing I've ever seen my bison do? That's a good question. A lot of times, probably when they're playing with each other, they can get really funny. You know, coming up to each other, hitting each other, and then taking off running, like literally playing tag. That always makes me laugh. Oh wow, you had some that were on many TV shows. Last one passed August 2020. Wow, sorry to hear. That's pretty cool. Yeah, okay, I think I remember talking to you now. Well, guys, it is, as you can see, starting to get a little dark out here, and we're starting to lose our daylight. But I really appreciate everybody joining our live feed. Thank you for all you guys' support. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button that helps push this video, and thank you for subscribing. So hopefully everybody has a great Thanksgiving tomorrow. So thank you guys, appreciate it, and we will see you guys all in the next video or the next live feed. So we'll see ya.